This is your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, February 18th, 2014, brought to you by the National Cannabis Coalition. I'm Russ Belville. The Washington State House has approved a severe reduction in medical marijuana possession and cultivation limits. House Bill 2149 passed last night on a 67-29 vote and heads to the Senate. The bill would reduce the possession limit for medical marijuana patients from 24 ounces down to 3, but would allow a physician to set a higher limit in certain circumstances. The bill reduces the cultivation limit for patients from 15 plants down to 6. The bill also eliminates the collective gardens of up to 10 patients that can cultivate 45 plants and establishes a mandatory state patient registry. The bill comes in response to federal guidelines concerning the operation of the recreational marijuana industry created by Initiative 502. Regulators feared the widely unregulated medical marijuana industry would threaten the viability of the strictly regulated recreational industry, which is also subject to 25% taxation at the production, wholesale, and retail levels, in addition to state and local taxes. New York State voters overwhelmingly support medical marijuana and a majority favor legalization. That's the result from a new Quinnipiac University poll of New York voters that found 88% support for medical marijuana and 57% support for recreational marijuana legalization. While medical marijuana is a slam dunk among all demographics, recreational legalization support still lags among women, Republicans, and the elderly. Men support legalization at 63%, while women are a bare majority at 51%, a 12-point gender gap. Only 39% of Republicans and 38% of those age 65 and older support legalization. In other questions, the poll found that 81% of the people agree with the president's statement that, quote, marijuana is no more harmful than alcohol, end quote, with 36% saying marijuana is less harmful and 45% saying it is equally harmful as alcohol. A majority, 52%, now disagree that marijuana is a gateway drug leading to the use of other harder drugs. People under age 30 know those two facts well, as 70% say marijuana is safer than alcohol and 68% don't believe the gateway theory. Arizona voters may be ready to legalize recreational marijuana. A slim majority of 51% say they'd support legalization, according to a new Behavior Research Center poll, compared to 41% who were opposed. The support breaks at age 55, with less than 40% of people that age or older favoring legalization. Among people under age 35, supporters outnumber foes by a 2-to-1 margin. This February poll is almost a perfect reverse of the January poll by Scutari and CSLAC Public Relations that found 51% opposed to legalization and 43% in favor. Arizona legalized medical marijuana in 2010 by the slimmest margin ever. Just 50.13% of voters approved their medical initiative. This time around, warns Maricopa County District Attorney Bill Montgomery, quote, "We will not get caught flat-footed and late to the issue again," end quote. Montgomery also promised to work to, quote, "counter the misinformation relied upon by the Marijuana Policy Project to mislead the public about the nature and impact of drug legalization," end quote. Minnesotans aren't quite ready to legalize recreational marijuana use, but are beginning to warm up to medical marijuana. A new Star Tribune poll finds that 51% of Minnesota voters support medical marijuana legislation, with 41% opposed. Only people over age 65 don't support medical marijuana in the land of 10,000 lakes. However, 63% of Minnesotans oppose legalizing marijuana for recreational purposes, as Colorado and Washington have done, with only 30% in favor. Even among young people aged 18 to 34, a plurality of 49% oppose marijuana legalization. Surprisingly, only 26% of Minnesotans admit to having tried marijuana, compared to the 43% nationwide who admit past pot use, which seems to make a huge difference in marijuana support. Among those who have tried marijuana, 76% support medical marijuana legalization and 61% support recreational legalization. A medical marijuana bill was both introduced and killed today in the Iowa legislature. Senate File 2215 by Senator Joe Bolcom was introduced today but failed to gather any bipartisan support, as no Republicans stepped up to support the bill. The bill was referred to the Human Resources Committee for assignment, but Senator Bolcom confirmed it's dead on arrival. Advocates for the bill who had gathered at a news conference expressed their disappointment. This has been your 420 Radio News for Tuesday, February 18th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. Transcripts of 420 Radio News are available exclusively at the National Cannabis Coalition. Visit ncc420.com today to download. When we come back, we'll go behind the headlines, and we will be taking a look at the newest studies showing marijuana's ability to combat HIV. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.